Today, we're going big. No, I mean really big. We're not just talking about the story of a person or a nation or even our planet. We're talking about the story of, well, everything, the whole shebang, from the absolute beginning to right now. So yeah, let's dive in. It's a question that can really just stop you in your tracks. How did all this come from nothing? It's probably the biggest question you can ask. What was there before there was anything? And how on earth did we get from that total void to, well, to us? That's exactly where our journey begins today. So let's go there. Let's go right back to the very start. We're going to rewind the cosmic clock as far back as it can possibly go, to that very first singular instant of creation, 13.8 billion years ago. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's it. That's our starting line. Before this very moment, there's no before. There was no time, no space, no universe. This number? This is where everything we know begins. Now you've got to get this one part right. The Big Bang wasn't some kind of firework going off in space. It was the birth of space. It was space itself expanding. Imagine all of reality, everything, squished down into a point so hot and dense our brains can't even really picture it. And then, whoosh, it all started to expand. And those first few minutes, absolutely wild. I mean, foundational for everything that came after. First, you get this period called inflation, where the universe just balloons out, expanding faster than the speed of light. It's just mind-boggling. Then it cools down just a tiny bit, becoming this kind of scorching hot soup of basic particles. And then, get this, by the 3-minute mark, things have settled enough for the first building blocks, protons and neutrons, to start linking up, creating the first elements, hydrogen and helium. Okay, so we've got the basic ingredients, but don't picture stars and galaxies yet, not even close. The universe at this point is just a thick, dark fog. So, the next part of our story is all about how out of that darkness, the very first light began to shine. Yeah, after that crazy hot beginning, things, well, they just went dark for millions and millions of years. It's what scientists call the cosmic dark ages. The whole universe was just this huge, starless expanse of gas. Can you imagine? Just silence and darkness everywhere. But even in that total darkness, something was happening. A quiet, patient, invisible force was at work. Gravity. Slowly, relentlessly, it started pulling those giant clouds of gas together, pulling and squeezing them into tighter and tighter clumps. And when those clumps got dense enough, hot enough, bam, ignition. The very first stars flicker into existence, and their light just tears through the darkness, finally ending that long cosmic night. All right, so we've seen the birth of stars. We've gone from nothing to something. Now, let's change perspective. Let's bring it all the way back home and figure out, where exactly are we in all of this? Let's find our cosmic address. So we're going to start right here with the familiar, our home. This little blue marble, this one tiny outpost of life floating in the sheer vastness of space, this is where the tour begins. And if we pull back a little, you'll see we're not alone. We're part of a neighborhood, the solar system. Our whole planet is just one member of a family dancing around our local star, the sun. Let's pull back even further. Our entire solar system, it's just one tiny speck nestled away in one of the spiral arms of our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Think of it like a sprawling city made of hundreds of billions of stars. So, just how big is the neighborhood outside our own city? Our best guess is this staggering number, 2 trillion. What do you think there are 2 trillion of out there? That's right, galaxies. We think there are 2 trillion other galaxies in the part of the universe we can see. So our entire Milky Way, with its billions and billions of stars, is just one out of 2 trillion. I mean, the scale is just, you can't even really wrap your head around it. So,
You see all those stars, all those galaxies, and you'd be forgiven for thinking, okay, we've got a pretty good idea of what's out there. But, well, you'd be wrong. The truth is way, way weirder. Let's get into the universe's darkest secrets.
This right here is probably one of the most mind-blowing facts in all of science. Everything you see, everything you've ever seen or interacted with, every star, every planet, you, me, all of it is what we call normal matter, and it makes up just 5% of the universe. 5. The other 95%? We basically have no idea what it is. It's a total mystery.
So that mysterious 95% is split into two things we call dark matter and dark energy, and they're basically in a cosmic tug of war. Dark matter is like the universe's cosmic glue. Its gravity is the stuff pulling galaxies together and stopping them from flying apart. But then there's dark energy. It's the cosmic accelerator. It's the strange repulsive force that's pushing everything apart and actually making the expansion of the universe speed up.
So, we've gone from a single point to trillions of galaxies, and we've learned that most of it is run by these invisible forces we're just starting to understand. Which, of course, brings us to one last really big question.
What a ride, right? We've gone from a point smaller than an atom to watching the first light cut through the cosmic dark ages, all the way to finding our own tiny little address in a universe with trillions of galaxies. We've actually managed to piece together our own origin story. So we know our story has a beginning, a very clear one. But does it have an end? And if so, what is it? Will that cosmic accelerator, that dark energy, just keep pushing everything further and further apart until the universe becomes a cold, dark, empty place? Or is there something else in store for the cosmos? That, right there, is the next great chapter. And the amazing thing is, it hasn't been written yet.